Message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Do you know that one of the main reasons for medication failure is due to non-adherence to medications? It is important that you follow these 4 R's when taking your medications. Right drug, right dose, right time, and right way. Right drug. Remember that each medication is specific for each individual, and what may work for one person may not work for the other. Therefore, you should not share your drugs. Right dose. Taking more or less than what is prescribed by your provider may cause you to either run out of your pills faster, it may affect your kidneys or liver, and it may even worsen your medical condition. Right time. Taking medications when told ensures that you have enough medication in your body to fight off the illness you may have. Skipping doses may lead to drug resistance. Right way. If your medication calls for you to take it whole, with food, or at night only, please follow these directions as there may be side effects. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, an additional vaccination center set to open on Grand Bahama. Candidates around the country preparing to file nomination papers. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, addressing the nation last evening. The nation's chief using that national platform once again to push the message of the importance of vaccinations while giving new details on the vaccination program on Grand Bahama. Jamila Mizik reports.
Let me again say to those who are still thinking about getting vaccinated, you do not have time to keep thinking about whether or not you will take the vaccine.
The nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, during his national address on Sunday, reiterating that the only way out of the emergency phase of the pandemic is to vaccinate as many Bahamians as possible. He says since the national vaccination campaign began mid-March, a total of 129,017 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered. And for those residents wishing to be vaccinated on Grand Bahama, he shared this update.
On Grand Bahama, the administration of COVID-19 vaccines, including Pfizer, will be ramped up this week. This will include an additional center being opened, weekend hours, and additional vaccination opportunities in communities in the eastern and western areas of Grand Bahama. Vaccination teams from New Providence are being sent to Grand Bahama to assist local health teams.
Now, as it relates to Family Islands, Dr. Minnis says those residents will be a part of the initial rollout of the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine will also be used to vaccinate homebound residents who have not yet received the vaccine and who wish to do so. For the homebound who have already received the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, they will receive a second dose of the AstraZeneca.
The Prime Minister adding that doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine have already been sent to San Salvador.
Vaccination teams will be returning to the Family Islands starting with mainland Abaco on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. The following week, vaccination teams are expected to return to Exuma and Eleuthera. On the Family Islands, second doses of AstraZeneca vaccine will be administered along with the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Pfizer will also be made available to residents 12 and over.
And ahead of the September 16th general election, Prime Minister Minnis notes that curfews throughout the country will be strictly enforced.
Bahamians 65 years and older will be permitted to vote in the advance polls for their further protection in the upcoming general election. In terms of public health measures, this will also reduce the number of Bahamians voting on a single day. I want to ensure Bahamians that the voting process will be safe. I encourage all who are eligible to go out and vote.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
With the 2021 general election set for September 16th, nomination day is fast approaching. A large number of persons are expected to nominate in the 5 constituencies across the island this coming Friday, August 27th. This process will affirm their candidacy in the September 16th general election. In this report, the administrator for the city of Freeport is giving an overview of what persons can expect on nomination day. Italia Hall reports.
Administrator for the City of Freeport, Kathy V. Smith, says nomination day is required to be held 5 to 10 days after the election date is announced. She says for those persons seeking nomination, you are required to fill out a nomination form.
It should be subscribed by not less than 5. You can have more than 5 persons subscribe to nomination paper, but a minimum of 5 persons as voters, and they must be voters in that constituency. And those papers should be delivered either by the candidate, him or herself, or one of the subscribers to the returning officer for that constituency. In this case, I'm the returning officer for the constituency of Pine Ridge, and our nomination site is the Church of God of Prophecy in Hartsville.
Candidates must also submit a declaration of qualification.
The declaration of qualification must be signed by the candidate and notarized by a justice of the peace or a notary public that is dated on a day not more than 90 days before nomination day. And this is found in the Parliamentary Election Act, Section 36(2). Another form that the candidate must submit is the declaration of assets, income, and liabilities.
And candidates can only submit their documents between the hours of 9 a.m. and 12 noon on nomination day.
If a candidate comes at 12:01, his documents are not accepted. So that is very important for the candidates to remember. It's between 9 a.m. and 12 noon. And finally, a deposit fee of $400 Bahamian dollars or a certified or manager's check is also submitted when collected by the returning officer on that date.
Once all documents are received, the returning officer will check the documents and sign off on them. The documents will then be sent to Nassau to the Parliamentary Commissioner, the administrator explaining the criteria for nominees.
There's just 2 eligibility. They have to be a Bahamian and has to have resided in the Bahamas for a period of not less than 1 year.
She says she is expecting a large turnout on Friday.
It is expected that there are about 4 independent candidates. So I'm thinking that we will have a large group of supporters to present their candidate this coming Friday at the Church of God of Prophecy in Hartsville.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The Commissioner of Police has established an election investigation unit that is responsible for investigating all matters related to the Bahamas national general elections. This comes as it was brought to the attention of the Commissioner of Police that some persons are deliberately destroying party paraphernalia. The Commissioner reminds the public that it is an offense to interfere with or destroy party paraphernalia, and the persons caught doing so will be prosecuted. The Royal Bahamas Police Force noting that officers will ensure that all registered voters in the Bahamas will be allowed to freely exercise their constitutional rights to elect a candidate, party, and government of their choice. The Commissioner also imploring leaders of all political parties to encourage their supporters to exercise restraint during this time and to respect the process and not destroy or remove their opponent's paraphernalia. He's asking members of the public to notify the police whenever and wherever they observe persons doing so. Well, stay with us. There's more news coming up right after this break.
On down now. For your large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
We do it better. We do it better.
Island Bedding is the Bahamas' leading manufacturer in mattress sets. But did you know we also carry top quality products like pillows, comforters, sheets, and much more. Our furniture line is also expanding to meet the needs of those rebuilding. We have bedroom sets, sofa beds, recliners, accent pieces, and so much more. Come and experience Island Bedding today, where everybody deserves their own island.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard debit card.
It's back to school at Park & Shop and Dollar Plus with VAT-free items galore. From now until September 6th, you can save on uniform shirts and pants, belts, underwear, socks, and backpacks at Park & Shop. It's Dollar Plus for all your school supplies and hair accessories. Get black and white books, notebooks, crayons, erasers, markers, sharpeners, scissors, pens, and folders. Visit Park & Shop and Dollar Plus for your VAT-free back-to-school needs.
It's Third Dimension's clearance sale, August 23rd through the 26th. Take up to 30% off selected items and save big when you shop their bargain bins.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
August 28th from noon until 6 p.m., join ATIS for their second annual back-to-school drive-through giveaway at number 3 Thackeray Street across from Caterpillar. To register, call 602-4769.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy when she licking her lips and moving them hips like come here, baby. I wanna take her down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Well, as the countdown has officially begun to Election Day on September 16th, the two major political parties have already been hitting the campaign trail to share their respective messages with residents. In this report, a chairman for both the Free National Movement and Progressive Liberal Party shared their plans for this campaign season. There are just over 3 weeks until registered voters head to the polls to cast their vote in the general election. Across the country, political paraphernalia have been erected and handed out door to door bearing the slogans of the respective parties. But what exactly do these catchy phrases stand for? Chairman of the Free National Movement's Grand Bahama Council, David Thompson, gives some insight into the party's "It's About Your Future" slogan.
The campaign slogan of the Free National Movement reflects that we are a F&M party who is looking forward. We're looking to the future. We are looking to our young people. We are looking to the generations who are with and come behind us. We are looking to build better and stronger our Bahamas.
Chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, Fred Mitchell, says that if elected, the PLP is prepared to usher in a new day on day one.
The fact that there's a new opportunity for restoration and rebuilding, to cut away from the politics of meanness, the politics of exclusion, the politics of the rich and the famous, to give people of ordinary means the opportunity to recover their position in the country.
Both parties will be presenting candidates for all 5 constituencies on the island. Thompson shares what voters can expect from the F&M's slate of candidates.
They are doing the canvassing, the door-to-door housing campaign that is necessary, and they are trying as best as they can to meet with every voter and discuss their concerns as we try to get every voter of the F&M or who supports the F&M party to go to the polls on the 16th of September.
And for the PLP party, Mitchell says that residents can expect a well-put-together team of candidates ready to serve.
You can expect moderate, reasonable, disciplined, directed candidates who are focused on uplifting and restoring the people of Grand Bahama and the governance of Grand Bahama that it deserves as the city which makes the second highest contribution, an island which makes the second highest contribution to our country's economy.
As the campaign heats up in a COVID-19 environment, many residents have been wondering what the traditional campaign season would look like as it relates to rallies. Well, both Thompson and Mitchell explain their plans.
We intend to have 3 rallies, and they are all drive-up rallies because of protocol. And we'll be on Logwood Road, right in front of the Sawyer's new hardware, which was built. That's a very large, that's probably the largest parking area we could find. And as of this Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we will be having our rally at that site.
We have looked at the regulations, and we plan, insofar as we can, drive up rallies and virtual rallies, copying or borrowing from the experience of Bermuda and in the United States. So it's possible to do it, and we hope to utilize that. But our teams are...
In other news, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, will deliver a national address tonight at 8 o'clock on the start of the upcoming school year. The Ministry of Education has confirmed that the government will open schools in a virtual learning format on August 30th. While the preferred mode of instructional delivery continues to be face-to-face, a statement released by the ministry says it remains guided by the mantra of safety first, education always. The statement continues that as many students and educators will be returning from summer travel. The Ministry of Education is of the opinion that online instruction will assist in reducing the chances of experiencing a spike in COVID-19 cases throughout the country, and this action is necessary given the state of the nation's healthcare system. The decision will be reviewed in a few weeks. The Ministry of Education urging all private schools to adopt a similar position by engaging their students using the virtual platform. But to those independent schools that wish to proceed with some face-to-face instructional activities must seek approval from the Ministry of Education. Now, once again, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, is expected to give a national address this evening at 8 o'clock. As the government continues to encourage persons to get vaccinated to combat the deadly COVID-19 virus, an appeal is also going out to parents who have children 12 and over to take the jab. Tonight in our Holistic Health segment, our Jamila Mizik talks to a local primary care physician about whether or not kids should take the COVID vaccine.
The Pfizer vaccine is available to children ages 12 through 17 in the country, but many are wondering if it is safe. Well, we spoke to Managing Director at Geneva Wellness Center, Dr. Leviticus Roll, who says generally vaccinations have been safe for children.
Obviously, we've been giving vaccines to children for many years now. In fact, we give vaccines among the pediatric population more than adults. I mean, if you think about it, the measles, mumps, rubella, polio vaccines, those are actually given to the neonates and to the pediatric population. And so vaccines generally have always been safe for children.
Dr. Roll says kids are becoming infected with the virus now more than ever.
But they're affected in different ways, and they're not getting as symptomatic, which is a good thing. The bad thing, of course, is that they are asymptomatic spreaders, so they may be the asymptomatic spreaders. But regarding whether these kids should be vaccinated, that remains to be seen. We just haven't had enough studies done yet, and I think mostly we'll probably be following the cues of other jurisdictions, Europe and the US, to see if these vaccines are safe in children, and if they are, I would certainly encourage it to be given here in the Bahamas.
And to parents who are unsure whether or not they should vaccinate their children, he says to be guided by the science.
As healthcare providers, we are governed by science. We practice what is called evidence-based medicine. And if the evidence tells us that the vaccines are safe in the pediatric population, that they're effective, that there's more good than harm, and then we make that recommendation to parents to get vaccinated, which is what we've always done with all vaccines. And so I would say be guided by the science and try to ignore all the noises out there.
And he says vaccinations have been proven to save lives.
We've been able to curtail the spread of many illnesses, some of them even completely eradicated with the use of vaccine. And for those who are skeptical about this being mandated, we've been mandating vaccines since I was a boy, measles, mumps, rubella, polio, and others. And they've been proven to be safe, effective, and efficient, and that's why we use them. And so I understand the concern. I understand that persons are concerned that this is a speedy vaccine, that we haven't given enough time. But remember, this is emergency use authorization, which means that there are some conditions existing that makes it necessary to give this vaccine. If not, we'll be losing lives, and I believe the numbers sort of tells us that. So yeah, absolutely. I think we're guided by the science, but regarding vaccines in children, they've always been safe, they've always been efficient, and so I do recommend those, yes.
Until next time on Holistic Health, I'm Jamila Mizik.
And now it's time for a check on sports with our Rumiko Knowles.
Welcome to Sports in the North. I'm Rumiko Knowles. Sporting activities throughout the country have been heavily affected by the pandemic. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, noting during his national address that the lack of sports and extracurricular activities have also taken a toll on students, and he gave this update as to when such activities can be expected to return.
The sooner a large number of appropriate age students and their families are vaccinated, the sooner we can return to safe, face-to-face learning, team sports, extracurricular programs, and youth programs. It is vital that we protect child, youth, and family health.
And while sporting organizations throughout the country are eager for sporting activities to resume, the Prime Minister encourages all to vaccinate themselves against the deadly virus.
Our children and youth need more opportunities for group sports and activities. Moreover, by getting our children and grandchildren back to school, we can free up parents to get back to work as the economy improves and bounces back.
Switching gears now, congratulatory remarks continue to pour in for the Bahamas Olympic gold medalist Shawnee Miller-Weibo and Stephen Gardner. District Superintendent of Education Ivan Butler says those in the education sector are proud of the accomplishment.
We in the Grand Bahama and Bimini and Keys District join in celebrating with our Olympic athletes to win an Olympic medal, specifically a gold medal. Puts you in a category of very few individuals in the world, and that demands some kind of recognition at a national level.
While the NFL preseason is underway, Colts rookie Michael Strawn nabbing 2 catches in the Indianapolis Colts 12-10 victory over the Minnesota Vikings this past Saturday. Strawn had 2 receptions on 4 targets for 12 yards. The 24-year-old Grand Bahamian wide receiver is battling Desmond Patton and Ashton Doolin for perhaps the final roster spot at wide receiver. Both Strawn and Patton are seen as having strong training camps and have had strong preseason games. In preseason action, the Colts are 2-0 for the first time since 1994. Strawn and team will travel to Detroit to face the Lions for their preseason finale. The game time is set for 7 p.m. Friday, August 27. Now, NFL teams have until August 31st to submit their 53-man roster. Strawn was the 7th-round pick in this year's NFL draft, taken number 229 overall. And that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
It's the summer you deserve. Introducing the Alcatel One SE with Freedom 12 plan included. Switch to Alive today. Alive, believe in best.
Hi, I'm Olympia Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. On Grand Bahama, there are only 2 types of homes, those with termites and those that will have termites. The signs you should look for are drywood termite fecal pellets, subterranean termite shelter tubes, and of course, damaged wood. We now have on Grand Bahama the Coptotermes formosanus, or the super termite, which can do extreme damage in a very short period of time. To know more and to protect your investment, contact the termite experts at Budget Pest Control. With us, it's not just a company behind you, but a family. We are located on 13 Forest Avenue. Call us today at 351-7378.
Hi, I'm Wes. I'd like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit for a chance to win a brand new 2021 Toyota RAV4. Every spend gives you an instant entry to qualify. Shop online, at the gas station, or at any POS machine for your chance to win. Competition runs from now until August 31. Activate your power and win with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Approved under Section 61G of the Gaming Act 2014. Applicable to Bahamas only.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
It's Third Dimension's clearance sale, August 23rd through the 26th. Take up to 30% off selected items and save big when you shop their bargain bins.
Take your time, take your time. You sure, right, yo?
Money short.
You sure? All right.
Money short.
Okay, okay.
Miss. You know Lou's a buying, right?
Oh, well, you must be getting kids be late. Man, I ain't bring no money like that. Plus, you know you greedy.
Well, today is your lucky day.
Oh.
Check out the ZNS Shopping Network. See what deals they have on food.
Look here. Boy, Madcap got some super deals. Check it out. You got a $25 coupon for 15 and a $20 coupon for 10.
Well, Madcap it is.
All right. Hey, I rolling with you, eh?
Log on to ZNSShoppingNetwork.com and get your deals today.
That's what I told her. Bring the winding thing here. This is Rick and Script, so show me emotion. Hey, wind and go down low.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Ariana Joy Roberts, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you so much for your continued support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a wonderful evening.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, a blow to the tourism industry. A shot in the arm for one COVID-19 vaccination. The new academic year in a punishing COVID environment. And census listers prepare to crunch numbers. Those stories and more when the Bahamas tonight, the National Report returns.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Good evening, I'm Akush Lapindo. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for joining us. Just when the Bahamas was making inroads with its tourism numbers, the top industry has been dealt a serious blow. The U.S. State Department today updating its travel advisory, moving the Bahamas from level 3 to 4, the highest. It's at that level that Americans are urged to not travel here, as there is a very high level of COVID-19. The advisory leaning heavily on the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's science-based travel health notices, outlining current health issues affecting travelers' health. The CDC's research taking into account case numbers from around the globe. The U.S. State Department making it clear that in the event Americans have to travel to the Bahamas, they ensure they are fully vaccinated, stressing that even those who fall in this category are at risk for getting and spreading COVID-19 variants. In the case of the unvaccinated who must still travel, they're advised to get tested with a viral test 1 to 3 days before the trip. Mask wearing and social distancing is also urged for vaccinated or otherwise. The U.S. travel advisory could not have come at a worse time. In recent weeks, local tourism numbers have picked up, with Tourism Minister the Honorable Dionisio D. Aguilar revealing that for the first 6 months of 2021, the Bahamas had already welcomed just over 400,000 stopover visitors who are spending more and staying longer. D. Aguilar, who at the time was bringing the keynote address at Eleuthera's Business Outlook, added that while they expect the traditional downturn in September and October, tourism numbers were expected to rebound very robustly heading into Thanksgiving and Christmas. Meantime, the State Department says it will closely monitor health and safety conditions across the globe to update destination-specific information for U.S. travelers as conditions evolve. Well, that travel advisory also comes when national COVID-19 figures are at an all-time high. Nonetheless, it seems as if Bahamians are heeding the message to get vaccinated, as for whatever the reason and whatever the choice, those numbers are picking up. Still, Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis is not letting any opportunity escape him to appeal to Bahamians to get the shot against the COVID-19 vaccine, as done during his national address last evening, at which time he also acknowledged that there's still much more work to do. We turn now to our Altavis Munnings with the details.
With more than 129,000 COVID-19 vaccine doses already administered nationwide since the pandemic hit the Bahamas last year, March, government's message to get vaccinated is resonating with Bahamians and residents. As of August 21st, more than 55,000 persons are now fully vaccinated, and close to 11,500 of those doses were given out just last week.
On New Providence, 70% of doses administered were first doses. And on Grand Bahama, 53% were first doses. These are significant and very good numbers.
Citing the extraordinary logistical challenge of Family Island vaccinations that has enabled at least one dose vaccinations to occur, the Prime Minister announced in his national address Sunday night news that Family Islanders were waiting to hear, now that the Bahamas has acquired doses of 3 major COVID-19 vaccines.
Doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines have already been sent to San Salvador. Vaccination teams will be returning to the Family Islands, starting with mainland Abaco on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. The following week, vaccination teams are expected to return to Exuma and Eleuthera. On the Family Islands, second doses of AstraZeneca vaccine will be administered along with the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Pfizer will also be made available to residents 12 and over.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine will be available to homebound residents who haven't been vaccinated, and a second dose of AstraZeneca for those homebound residents who have already received their first dose. An additional vaccination center will open in Grand Bahama to accommodate Pfizer doses and launch vaccinations in that island's western and eastern districts. An invitation has even been extended to private healthcare providers who can assist the government safely administer COVID-19 vaccines. The Prime Minister added an appeal to private sector businesses to designate time for employees to get vaccinated. But the Prime Minister's message remains constant. Government can't fight the pandemic alone. He implored more Bahamians to volunteer and called on religious leaders, the media, union leaders, political parties and candidates, businesses, civic groups, and non-government organizations to continuously encourage Bahamians to get the jab.
If we all, as opinion leaders, speak with one clear, determined, and consistent voice, more people will be encouraged to take the vaccine. Please, use your voices and platforms to spread the message that vaccines prevent hospitalizations. They prevent deaths. And that by us taking the vaccines in large numbers, we can go back to more openness.
Prime Minister Minnis does recognize, though, there are some individuals still on the fence about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Here's his message.
You do not have time to keep thinking about whether or not you will take the vaccine. You do not have time to keep researching. You need to come forward now to get the life-saving protection that vaccination gives.
The Prime Minister underscored that the only way out of the emergency phase of the pandemic is to vaccinate as many Bahamians as possible in the shortest amount of time. I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Well, in related news, a major milestone marked in the global COVID-19 fight as one of the vaccines approved for emergency use now has full approval by a regulatory body. In this week's edition of Things You Should Know, Cleopatra Murphy sheds light on which vaccine and for who it is approved.
The Food and Drug Administration has given full approval to the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for people 16 and older. The announcement came Monday morning, making the vaccine the first to be granted full approval for prevention of COVID-19 from the regulator. The vaccine will also be marketed under a new name, Comirnaty, according to a statement from the FDA. The organization's acting commissioner, Janet Woodcock, says the FDA's approval of this vaccine is a milestone as we continue to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. While this and other vaccines have met the FDA's rigorous scientific standards for emergency use authorization, as the first FDA-approved COVID-19 vaccine, the public can be very confident that this vaccine meets the high standards for safety, effectiveness, and manufacturing quality the FDA requires of an approved product. While millions of people have already safely received COVID-19 vaccines, we recognize that for some, the FDA approval of a vaccine may now instill additional confidence to get vaccinated. The full approval of the Pfizer vaccine comes as the Bahamas just last week began administering doses to the general public at the Kendall G. L. Isaacs Gymnasium. That was possible due to the arrival of the first shipment of 128,700 doses of Pfizer donated by the U.S. government on August 12th. The country will receive a total of 397,000 doses of the vaccine courtesy of the U.S. government in 3 tranches. The Pfizer vaccine, recently given approval for emergency use in children as young as 12, was given emergency use authorization for people 16 and over on December 11, 2020. The FDA notes that such authorization can be granted during public health emergencies to provide access to medical products that may be effective in preventing, diagnosing, or treating a disease once the FDA determines the potential benefits of a product outweigh any risks. In its statement, the FDA says FDA-approved vaccines undergo the agency's standard process for reviewing the quality, safety, and effectiveness of medical products. Of all vaccines, the FDA evaluates data and information included in the manufacturer's submission of a biologics license application. A BLA is a comprehensive document that is submitted to the agency, providing very specific requirements. For Comirnaty, the BLA builds on the extensive data and information previously submitted that supported the EUA, such as preclinical and clinical data and information as well as details of the manufacturing process, vaccine testing results to ensure vaccine quality, and inspections of the sites where the vaccine is made. The agency says it also does independent analysis to ensure vaccine safety. According to the FDA, Comirnaty includes messenger RNA, a type of genetic material used by the body to mimic one of the proteins in the virus that causes COVID-19. It notes, the result of a person receiving this vaccine is that their immune system will ultimately react defensively to the virus that causes COVID-19. It notes, the result of a person receiving this vaccine is that their immune system will ultimately react defensively to the virus that causes COVID-19. The mRNA in Comirnaty is only present in the body for a short time and is not incorporated into, nor does it alter an individual's genetic material. Comirnaty has the same formulation as the EUA vaccine and is administered as a series of 2 doses, 3 weeks apart. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, the Defense Force may be moving toward a mandatory inoculation requirement as the organization goes on the defensive against COVID-19. The Defense Force Commodore sharing with our Keishla Adderley that recent events have highlighted the danger not taking the COVID-19 vaccine poses to national security.
Their primary job is to guard our heritage, but COVID-19 has made that already challenging mandate even harder. This weekend, officers stationed in Abaco were forced into quarantine. Although only one remains in quarantine now, the situation highlighted a sobering reality.
Some 30 persons who were active COVID patients, but that resulted in 160 persons having to be quarantined. And for me, it represented a national security issue. Because if I'm unable to place vessels at sea to fulfill our primary mission, which is border protection, that means we will not achieve our mission and mandate. And so, even though we have a robust protocol that we use, what occurred about a week ago demonstrated that it's not sustainable.
While vessels continue to sail, Defense Force Commodore Raymond King says a major threat looms, threatening their grounding and the borders they're intended to guard. The Commodore says this will likely push the enforcement of a requirement all Defense Force officers signed on to.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force has a policy that all of its members would have agreed to on entering the service, to be inoculated and re-inoculated. We have agreed to that policy.
At employment.
Right, from the onset. It's something that I'm in discussion with the government with. At some point, I think it has to be mandatory for the service members to be vaccinated. In order for us to be a fit and fighting force, we have to be healthy.
There are no records to indicate just how many Defense Force officers have been inoculated, but Commodore King notes the time has come for him and his men to make some hard, personal, and professional decisions.
We too are facing a vaccination hesitancy within the organization, even though the numbers of persons pursuing to be vaccinated has increased over the last month and a half. But I think our members need to take an introspect and reflect on why they're here. Their purpose is to defend and serve.
Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Well, now to the COVID-19 dashboard. 5 more deaths added to the country's death toll, which now sits at 338. The 4 men and 1 woman, all of New Providence, passed away between August 4th and August 18th. This while 47 COVID-19 deaths remain under investigation. Regarding the new 108 positive cases that comprise 55 women and 53 men, New Providence account for 91 of those new infections. Another 7 are in Eleuthera, 5 on Grand Bahama, 2 on Abaco, with Andros, Bimini, and Cat Key and Exuma reporting 1 new case each. Those 108 cases bringing the total count to 17,386 COVID-19 cases here in the Bahamas. 3,200 of them are active. 4 of those New Providence cases and that single case on Exuma have a travel history within the past 14 days. The Ministry of Health also confirming that due to contact tracing efforts, the COVID-19 positive case previously reported on August 19th for Ragged Island originated in New Providence. That then means that Ragged Island, which at that point appeared on the COVID-19 dashboard for the very first time, now has no positive cases to report for now. A look at COVID-19 hospitalizations put that number at 148, 11 of the people in the intensive care unit. Another 137 are listed as moderately ill. 3 of those ICU cases and 76 moderately ill patients are being treated at the Princess Margaret Hospital. 31 COVID cases at Doctors Hospital, 28 at the Grand Bahama Health Services, 9 at the South Beach Acute Care and Referral Center, and 1 COVID-19 case at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center. 8 people recovered from COVID-19, totaling 13,712. 591 COVID tests were recently completed, 456 of them negative, 108 positive, 15 repeats, and 12 inconclusive. Still to come, the government's looking to resume normal school operations as soon as possible, and the police investigate election vandalism. Details of those stories and more when we return.
And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajon Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m., all right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil. Shell's Summer of Fun.
What does support look like? What does it sound like when you feel the pulse of a nation? When you make a difference in the lives of strong, principled, cultured people who are driven by hard work and passion. People who build communities where hospitality is warmly demonstrated because this is the Bahamas, and we're happy to share our wealth. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians. Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Elevate your experience with BTC Superfast Fiber Home Internet, which unlocks unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming for as low as $50 per line. Enjoy more savings and value with internet speeds of up to 600 megabits per second and all the connectivity you need on the go. An elevated experience starts with BTC at home, powering unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming plus great savings. Visit a BTC store or btcbahamas.com for more details.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC, a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
Hey, I just reached. I asked them now because they close in like 5 minutes. Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. Hi. I heard y'all added more things to pay, like government fees or something.
Yes, sir. We're now accepting payments for Department of Immigration, Department of Labor, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Okay, good. I come to pay a police record and a labor certificate.
Okay, no problem. What's the name?
Uncle Boogaloo.
What's the first name?
Uncle.
And the last?
Boogaloo. You in the system.
Are you paying by cash, sir?
Coins.
Pardon?
Oh, and you could put a couple of them coins on my BPL bill. They just cut me off last night. I don't know what happened. Hey, Uncle, you straight. Okay. Yeah, don't forget my horse fish now.
Pay your government fees today at Cash and Go.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The government's plan to start the new school year in a COVID-19 environment unveiled tonight by Minister of Education, the Honourable Jeffrey Lloyd. It's a tough pill to swallow, particularly given the fact that the government wants a large number of students and their families to get vaccinated to create a safe learning environment. The Pfizer vaccine is now available to individuals 12 years and older, and Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Dr. Hubert Minnis, stressed in his national address last evening why vaccination is important to the education system.
During the pandemic, there has been an educational loss and gap for some children. We have to get them back to school, to give them the education that they deserve and that they need. We must end the emergency stage of the pandemic for a better future. and the good of our children and young people, including children and youth with learning challenges, difficulties, and disabilities. Our children and youth need more opportunities for group sports and activities. Moreover, by getting our children and grandchildren back to school, we can free up parents to get back to work as the economy improves and bounces back.
The Prime Minister also clarified COVID-19 protocols for the upcoming September 16th general election. While he encouraged the electorate to exercise their democratic right, he was quick to assure that the voting process will be safe.
I note again that the emergency orders limit the number of people campaigning in groups to 5, all of whom must be fully vaccinated. I also note that Bahamians 65 years and older will be permitted to vote in the advance polls for their further protection in the upcoming general election. In terms of public health measures, this will also reduce the number of Bahamians voting on a single day.
And as for COVID-19 inter-island travel protocols,
individuals traveling from New Providence, Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, Exuma, Abaco, and North and South Eleuthera, including Harbour Island, are required to present negative COVID-19 test results prior to travel. Fully vaccinated individuals may present a negative rapid antigen or PCR test results.
Now, persons wishing to vote in the advance polls can do so on September 9th, the date confirmed by Parliamentary Commissioner Lovato Donkinson in a virtual press conference earlier today. Some 23 locations were also listed, 10 in New Providence, 4 in Grand Bahama, and 9 overseas voting locations. And that's inclusive of London, England, Ottawa, Canada, Kingston, Jamaica, Port of Spain, Trinidad, Bridgetown, Barbados, Washington, D.C., New York City, Atlanta, and Miami in the U.S. A Houston location is being considered. Persons eligible to vote in the advance polls are election agents, poll workers, uniform branch officers, seniors over the age of 65, candidates and their spouses, students studying abroad, and those who are traveling before the election or living overseas. These people will need to complete the Form J or K on or before the submission deadline, which is August 27th for all overseas voters and September 4th for New Providence and Grand Bahama locations. An election investigation unit's been established, meantime, to look into matters related to the upcoming general election. This on the heels of the Commissioner of Police being notified of people deliberately destroying party paraphernalia posted throughout New Providence since last week's general election announcement. The commissioner stressing in a statement that it is an offense to interfere with or destroy party paraphernalia, and that those caught doing so will be prosecuted. The commissioner making it clear that it is his desire for all candidates to campaign unhindered and the public to move about and express themselves freely. Commissioner Rowe further implores political party leaders to encourage their supporters to exercise restraint during this time and not destroy or remove their opponent's paraphernalia, but rather notify the police whenever and wherever they observe people doing so. As for his officers, the police chief urged them to be impartial and not show or demonstrate political preference rather, in their actions or behaviors when dealing with members of the public. Election preparations, not the only thing underway. Officials over at the Bahamas National Statistical Institute, formerly known as the Department of Statistics, are also busy preparing for the 2022 census. This after the 2020 exercise was delayed due to Hurricane Dorian and, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic. Chief Census Officer Kim Saunders says the exercise that begins in January will be completely digital for the first time, changing the way data is managed and collected. Residents will be able to complete questionnaires online, by phone, or in person. She called on the public to participate as the data collected will be used to inform public policy, determine school zones, and assist in determining the allocation of public resources. The census listing exercise is underway, with listers gathering data to create a national register of households and collect households' contact information.
Listers have been provided with masks, face shields, and hand sanitizer. They are advised to administer the questions from outdoors, keeping a safe distance recommended by health officials. Census listers work in small teams, but they drive to various districts in separate vehicles and socially distanced. For the success of the first digital census, we need the support and cooperation of the public.
Listers can be identified by a Department of Statistics vest, an ID, and a letter signed by the Director of Statistics. Here's who will be included in the exercise.
The census includes all residents of the Bahamas, all persons who live here, who call this country their home. So that's our definition. Usual residents, those who have spent 6 months or more in the Bahamas or intend to spend 6 months or more in the Bahamas. As the Institute, we are not concerned about nationality, not concerned about age or any other status. As long as you are a resident of the Bahamas, then the count still depends on you.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Hurricane season is upon us. Be prepared. BAF General can cover your home and belongings with an affordable and comprehensive hurricane plan. Remember, your home may be the largest investment ever. Keep it covered with BAF General Insurance this hurricane season.
BAF, that's BAF for life.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is the premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Every day, it takes a commitment to quality, a commitment to the people. Here at Impact, we commit to you, to providing you with the best, most efficient waste management service in the country. Across the Bahamas, every home and any event is within our reach. Let the fastest growing and most reliable team help keep your Bahamas clean. Impact Waste Management Company, committed to you.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you. At the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Family members and authorities are hoping that with your help, their loved one will return home safely. 79-year-old Robert James Bethel was last seen on Saturday, August 21st around 4:30 a.m., leaving his number 37 New Hope Drive home. 2 days and counting, and he hasn't been seen since. Bethel is dark-skinned, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and slim build. If you can in any way help the police find Bethel or have spotted him anywhere, do not hesitate to call the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991 through 502-9968 or 502-9971. Well, the Broadcasting Corporation's General Manager, Lisa DeVoe Isaacs, assuming regional broadcasting duties now that she's been elected President of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union at its 52nd Annual General Assembly last week. DeVoe Isaacs has been on the CBU Board of Directors since June 2017 and was selected Vice President in December 2020. Her presidential term ends in 2023. The new CBU President, who hosted the organization's 48th General Assembly in June 2017, said in a release she's honored to be chosen by her regional peers to the union's highest office and shares this honor with Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas' current and past staff members. DeVoe Isaacs says she looks forward to working with her regional and international media colleagues as the fight continues against the COVID-19 pandemic. That wasn't the only accolade the BCB scored at the CBU's assembly. We won Best Television Documentary for the program on Hurricane Dorian, produced by Megan Shepard and Gershon Swain of our Northern Service, and Best Radio Health Program for HIV/AIDS that is produced in association with the Ministry of Health. The BCB is a founding member of the Caribbean Broadcasting Union that represents 36 member stations from 19 Caribbean countries. Local crowdfunding facilitator Arawak X today announcing the initial public offering of 2 new companies set to hit the Bahamian market. American franchise Red Lobster and Bahama MiFi, an augmented reality experience for visitors, intend to raise some $2.7 million and $2.1 million respectively to jumpstart operations within the next few months. Arawak X Chief Technology Officer Darcy Ramming Jr. says a 90-day window allows local investors to purchase shares into either company.
So as you go through the process of signing up, you're going to ask for your information. These are assets that you're purchasing. So these are ownership in these gentlemen's companies. And so what that means is that those assets come with certain rights to dividends and assets, so you can actually take them. At some point, you'll be able to borrow money against them.
Well, Chris Mortimer of Pinnacle Franchise Brands and Marcian Cash of Bahama MiFi equally excited to offer the available shares individually priced at $25 toward investment in either company.
For so long, we've dreamed of the alternatives to the regular commercial banking, and the reality is that we're very dependent on foreign investment. What you see emerging is a new Bahamas built on sound business principles, sustainable, and about to change everything for the better in the Bahamas.
There's certain brands that make sense for the Caribbean. Not all franchise brands make sense for the Caribbean, but there are a few brands that make sense. Red Lobster is one of those.
The Cabinet Office announcing in a statement that a state funeral for former Governor General, Deputy Prime Minister, Cabinet Minister, the Most Honorable Arthur Dion Hanna will take place this Thursday, August 26 at 11 a.m. at Christchurch Cathedral, George Street. And this by invitation only. Interment will follow at St. Matthew's Cemetery, Shirley and Church Streets. Now, prior to that, Hanna's body will lie in state in the foyer of the House of Assembly, Parliament Square, from 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 24th, until the body departs for the church on Thursday, August 26th. Public viewings slated for 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Tuesday and on Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. A period of mourning will be from sunrise to sunset on Tuesday, at which time the national flag will be flown at half-mast throughout the Bahamas.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
At BPL, we are champions of safety.
It is at this core of every decision, every project, and before the start of every job, we think safe and we work safe.
We ensure that our work environment is clean and free of debris, and we perform daily inspection on our equipment, tools, and vehicles. These simple but important steps help us to be more productive and prevent possible injuries.
As employees, we realize that we have a responsibility to ourselves and our coworkers to follow all the necessary protocols. That means wearing the correct PPE for the jobs that we are about to tackle. Hard hats, steel-toe boots, proper eyewear, and company-issued uniforms.
It's a shared responsibility for us. By following these simple but important safety protocols, we'll reach our goal of getting to zero. Zero on-the-job injuries and zero lost-time accidents.
Everyone's excited about the $8 meal of the day. Every day, it's a different 6-inch sub, plus chips and a 20-ounce drink for just $8. That feels like fresh value. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorite 6-inch subs. Like turkey breast, meatball marinara, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, black forest ham, Italian BMT, oven roasted chicken, and tuna. Then add chips and a 20-ounce drink, and you've got the $8 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price every day of the week, only at Subway.
Summer is here, and Shell presents a summer of fun. Win $30,000 in prizes when you spend $20 in fuel at any Shell location, now through September 10th. Experience incredible hotel stays in the Family Islands and Nassau. Win thousands of dollars in fuel, groceries, and electronic devices. Fuel up today and submit your receipt by WhatsApp, email, and Facebook. Follow us on Facebook for more chances to win with Shell. Terms and conditions apply.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Check off all your items at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow Spaghetti and Meatballs, 15-ounce, 99 cents. Felice Ready Cut Macaroni, 14-ounce, 99 cents. Amarlanda Fresh Milk, 33.8-ounce, 2 for $2.75. Boneless strip steaks, $8.99 per pound. Yellow onions, 3-pound bag, $2.99. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with double stamps on Sundays at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Androsians to hear from their movers and shakers on Wednesday during their virtual business outlook that will hone in on the theme New Opportunities for Business Success. President of TCL Group and founder of the Bahamas Business Outlook series, Joan Albury, says the August 25th forums aimed at celebrating Andros, unique diversity which has the ability to lift the associated communities and the entire Bahamas to greater heights if sustainably cultivated and managed. That said, speakers include Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources in North Andros and the Berry Islands MP Carlton Boleg, Senior Manager in the North Andros Tourist Office Peter Douglas, who will speak on community-based tourism, as well as Bahamas Development Bank Financial Controller Ashley Outen, Access Accelerator Director of External Affairs Samantha Roll, the Central Bank's Project Manager on Digital Currency Implementation Kimwood Mott, and CANU's Director and Chief Financial Officer Herbert Cash. This group will tackle the issue of financing options. Repairs to Abaco St. Francis de Sales Primary School continues in earnest some 2 years after it was destroyed by Hurricane Dorian. Catholic Education Director Claudette Rose says the additional upgrades are taking place right in time for the start of the new academic year.
We are going to be able to open full primary for this academic year, so we're very happy. You know, last year we did a phased approach because we only had about 4 classrooms available after the hurricane, you know, with the renovations. This year, we put up a brand new administration block, and we also have renovated the upper primary block. And so now we will be able to host all of the primary students in Abaco for this year. And then we have Every Child Counts, which is the special needs school. And their construction is basically done as well. And so we would be able to have those students back.
Now, there's also progress in repairs to Catholic schools over in Grand Bahama.
Grand Bahama is ready. You know, Grand Bahama, they were working full in person from November of last year. And so with the new schedule, though, unfortunately, they're going to have to go to a hybrid, as well as it's recommended that Grand Bahama, Abaco, New Providence, Bimini, Exuma, Eleuthera do the hybrid. But again, that is dependent on the enrollment of your school.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny skies with a temperature of 86 degrees, a relative humidity at 69%. Winds out of the south-southeast at 13 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,016.3 millibars. That is 30.02 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Tool, Key, and Marsh, Abaco. The Berry Islands also at 86, and that extends into Alistown, Bimini. 85 degrees in Harbor Island. Rock, Sandy, Lutra, 86. Also, Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros, all at 86 degrees. Alistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key at 87. Georgetown, Exuma, 86. 86 in Ragged Island. Clarence, Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Magona, 85. Acklands, 85. Matthew, Tiny, and Agua, 86 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the northwestern islands tonight, southeast winds 12 to 18 knots. Those wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean with caution flags in place. High tide 9:30 tonight. In the central and southeastern islands, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Choppy seas around 3 to 6 feet with caution flags also in place for the central and southeastern Bahamas. Tuesday, in the northwestern hours, the winds fall off, becoming southeast at 10 to 15 knots. The wave fights down. 2 to 4 feet will drop the caution flag temporarily. We'll see why. High tide, 9:53 in the morning. Low tide at 4:03 in the afternoon in the central and southeastern islands. On Tuesday, we have an easterly flow at 15 to 20 knots, and the wave fights 4 to 7 feet. Hence, caution flags continue in the central and southeast. On Wednesday, in the northwestern islands, the winds start to back, becoming northeast to east ahead of approaching a tropical wave. The details on that coming up later in the newscast. Wind speeds 15 to 20 knots on Wednesday. 4 to 6 feet will be the wave height. High tide 10:36 in the morning. The low tide will occur at 4:18 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights 4 to 7 feet, and the caution flag continues. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling. She knows it's you, but she just let it ring, but you get swing.
It's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
You get swing. You get swing. You get no...
Hi, I'm Franklin Butler, and I want to talk to you about financial resilience.
Financial resilience is the ability to withstand and recover from temporary financial hardship and disruptions.
Number one, let's talk about delayed gratification. In our house, we were taught that you can either save up front or you can save down back. So what does saving up front mean? Every week, you can set aside $5, $10 toward that gift, toward that down payment, toward whatever you want, or you can go to the bank and borrow it and pay 12% interest. And who wants to do that? Number two, let's talk about separating your needs from your wants. Now, this is an interesting story. Being a butler, in our household, we learned the lesson about needs and wants because my father made it very clear that on that t-shirt day, do you really need that t-shirt? Coincidentally, that resulted in just me and my two brothers. We were the only two kids without t-shirts and jeans on a t-shirt day. Imagine that. Number three, think about your hobbies and think about your profession. You can get paid for your hobbies, guys. I encourage you. You may be a beautician, you may be a barber, you may be a musician. Think about how you can leverage your downtime when you're not actually working to make extra money through your trades and your gifts. That is the only way I've learned how to be truly financially resilient.
This message was brought to you by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard Debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard Debit Card.
It's Shay here, and welcome to our first installment of Alive's Community Corner. Not only is Alive a digital service provider, and beyond those great deals and services that we provide you, Alive is committed to the community. So here's a look at what we did for Mother's and Father's Day. enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to sharing with you so many more of our community moments. So why alive? Because you deserve it.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Almost every journey starts with your car. We spend most of the early stages of our lives anticipating getting our first set of wheels. When that moment finally comes, let AID be there for all your auto needs. Make it yours by accessorizing, maintaining, and repairing your car with AID. Whether you're a professional mechanic, a recent graduate, a full-time mom, or an I can fix that kind of guy. Or if you're completely clueless about what your car needs, AID will assist in providing a large variety of auto parts, a diagnostic center, and great customer service. For all life's auto journeys, we're here. AID, all you really need and more.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our Superfast Fiber Internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
How the smartest shoppers are shopping in Nassau. Variety disposable products versus the other guys. $120.40 versus $150. Variety disposable products, 25% savings. Bingo, save $3. Padilla, save $2. Bounty hand towel, $1. And that's how the smartest shoppers saved over $30 on this cart at Variety Disposable.
So, Tamika, I know it's your first day, but we need a few things for the office. We need notepads for the boardroom, paper clips, staplers, trash bins for new staff, a monitor for Jason in accounting, a case of pens, a box of copier paper, and Ted here needs a new desk chair. Oh, and glue. I'll need all of these by noon. Got it?
But where am I supposed to get all this stuff by noon? John Bull Business Center. John Bull Business Center?
Of course. And while you're there, I need 200 copies of this. And speak to Michelle about delivery of my furniture. I'm having my office remodeled.
Got it. Because they have a copy center and a contract furniture department. I knew that.
I think you might just work out.
Get everything your company needs in one convenient location. Check out the copy center and our contract furniture department. If you want to show everyone in the office you mean business, then there's only one place to go. John Bull Business Center. We mean business.
Activate your power with the new Scotia Card MasterCard debit. Experience the power of convenience with speedy payments made with a simple tap. Feel the power of safety with enhanced security from our chip and pin technology, which grants you extra protection at the ATM, online, and at point of sale protection. Your access is granted. Make purchases here or when you choose to travel with priceless MasterCard offers. Activate your power with the new Scotiabank MasterCard debit card.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we had 3 tropical waves that we're keeping our eyes on at least over the next week or so. The first one is about 700 miles to the west of the Cape Verde Islands. It's moving towards the west-northwest at around 15 miles per hour, and it has about a 10% chance right now of development, but over the next 5 days, that will be bumped up to 40%. The second one is about 500 miles to the south of the Cape Verde Islands. This too is moving towards the west-northwest, anywhere between 10 and 15 miles per hour. 10% chance, bumping up to 40% over the 5-day cycle. And the third one, just near the Leeward Islands, that is moving towards the west, and it is expected to develop into some sort of a low sometime late in the week in this area here that is painted in orange. So we'll be keeping our eyes on those 3 tropical waves over the next several days. Satellite pictures showing a bit of high cloud over the northwest and parts of the central Bahamas. And tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy and warm conditions somewhat on the dry side, with your low temperature getting down to 79 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy in the morning, otherwise partly sunny for the rest of the day. 91 degrees for your high temperature, and your extended weather forecast, 90s right through the cycle. We get some showers and thunderstorms in our forecast on Wednesday, and this will be as a result of that tropical wave that is currently near the Leeward Islands. That will be in our area sometime on Wednesday, and that certainly will increase the rain chance on Wednesday. Kishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. This programming note, please stay tuned to the ZNS Network for a back-to-school national address by Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, at 8 o'clock tonight. And that does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
The following is a back-to-school message by the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey L. Lloyd.
My beloved Bahamians, as we prepare to begin the school year for more than 60,000 Bahamian students studying in the public and private pre-primary, primary, and secondary schools, I take a moment to thank the many teachers, administrators, and support staff who continue to put this country's future generation first and foremost. To you, I say your commitment is duly noticed. And on behalf of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I thank you, my beloved Bahamians. This coming academic year will be a time of great opportunity. Yes, there were challenges leading up to this point, but we celebrate the fact that we successfully completed the 2020-2021 academic school year despite this unprecedented global pandemic. You've already heard much about the impact of Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic and its global impact on the delivery of educational instruction. The Ministry of Education took the necessary measures to ensure that we provided an opportunity for all of our children to receive a quality education. The ministry will continue to focus on leveling the playing field for all of our children, particularly our most vulnerable, and those whose socioeconomic standing has been further compounded due to this vicious pandemic. COVID-19 imposed seismic shocks on every economy on this globe, including ours, resulting in massive layoffs and business closures. Those consequences are easy to identify, but what may not be so obvious on the first inspection is the emotional toll this new economic reality has taken on much of our citizenry. Worries over maintaining one's good health and even life itself have often paled in comparison to the mounting concerns of meeting one's financial commitments. The Ministry of Education appreciates that many parents were juggling to keep their children interested and focused on their learning, while simultaneously trying to put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads. We understand the difficulty that students face while attempting to concentrate on his or her lessons in these very tough times. And that is why we adopted an holistic approach to meeting our students' needs. Back in September of 2019, after the passage of Hurricane Dorian, the ministry immediately intensified its efforts to help meet the socio-economic challenges which many of our students and their families faced. We increased the availability of psychological and social counseling sessions for our students, their parents, and our educators. We put in place hotlines, hosted town hall meetings, and developed a variety of social media platforms to give mental health support for all who needed it. Additionally, through the generous support of private citizens, NGOs, civic and corporate partners, commencing with the Leno Learning Initiative, the ministry provided devices or tablets to some 50,000 students so that their education could continue in a virtual or hybrid modality. Special thanks to Cable Bahamas and Alive, through whom we were able to obtain thousands of devices at cost and many months of free Wi-Fi access. We also partnered with the Department of Social Services to provide free Wi-Fi zones for those students who lacked internet capability. And we want to thank all of our donors for their most kind assistance to our deserving students in this time. For those families with no electricity or other basic necessities, we distributed thousands of learning packages for students to collect from schools, which were then completed and returned for review and correction by teachers. My beloved Bahamians, many of our students depend on the school system for a lunch meal. The Ministry of Education continued with that program. We even increased it as the need expanded. And while schools were not in physical session, we converted the lunch vouchers into food store coupons, permitting families throughout the country to purchase critical grocery items. And the ministry is committed to doing its part as best as our resources would allow. As you know, this global pandemic, with its restrictive health and safety protocols, volatile employment levels, and increasing health challenges, which are accelerating mortality figures, have meant that the ministry's focus must extend beyond getting our students to pass exams. In this time of COVID-19, the way that we deliver education has had to change because it is directly linked to the prevailing public health situation of our nation. The ministry's operating theme is, quote, safety first, education always, end quote, especially now. In all of our decisions, the bottom line consideration is the health and safety of our students, administrators, principals, teachers, staff, guests, and the public who visit our premises. On this, there can and never will be a compromise. Throughout this pandemic, we have had extensive and sustained consultations with the health authorities as to the best and safest mode of learning and teaching. In recent weeks, the Ministry and the Department of Education have been in almost daily discussions with the health officials as to the best approach for the commencement of the 2021-2022 academic year. They have been our guide and have given us clear directives. And while our preferred mode of instructional delivery is face-to-face, following a series of consultations with the health authorities, the Ministry of Education has decided that all government-operated schools will begin this new school year using the virtual learning format starting on Monday, August 30th, 2021 at the usual time. Safety must come first, even though education is always. It is now an indisputable fact that the country's health resources, both public and private, are fully maximized. And while our schools are generally safe with a healthcare system already under severe strain, the ministry considers that out of an abundance of caution regarding containment of the possible spread of COVID-19, the Ministry of Education considers that online instruction is best at this time to assist the country in reducing the chances of experiencing a spike in COVID-19 cases. Again, as the aim is to get our students back in school face-to-face, but we will not put their health and their lives at risk, nor the lives of their teachers, administrators, parents, and staff. We are not insensitive to parents and guardians and their child care needs, and we ask you please to consider carefully the reason for our decision and to bear with us during this brief period in your child's lives. This decision, of course, will be reviewed constantly, weekly we hope, with the hope that we will return to face-to-face as soon as the public health condition permits. As we did during the last academic year, the return to face-to-face instruction will depend on local conditions on each island. Some schools, small island communities, may return to face-to-face sooner than other islands, again, as health officials deem it safe to do so. At this time, the Ministry of Education strongly urges all private schools to adopt a similar position by engaging their students using a virtual format. This, we believe, is the best and safest approach for our education in these perilous times. Nevertheless, those schools who want to proceed with some face-to-face instructional activities must first receive written approval from the Ministry of Education. In the interim, parents, we encourage you to secure all necessary materials for children to benefit from this virtual learning environment. At a minimum, each student should have a device or a tablet, reliable Wi-Fi access, and a conducive space for learning. The Ministry of Education will continue to monitor closely the state of this ever-evolving public health challenge to determine when it is safe for our students to return to our campuses. Our mission remains to provide all persons in the Bahamas with a quality education. And this is only possible if we maintain a standard of safety first and education always. Just a note, if the infection rates and challenges to our healthcare system continue without respite, online learning will probably dominate the way we deliver instruction in this upcoming school year. Because today, our reality is a mixture of contact tracing and quarantining, mask wearing, and COVID-19 vaccines. We all probably have either been touched by this pandemic or know somebody who has been. And while we believe this will pass, we recognize that in the meantime, life must continue. The economy must rebound, and learning must go on. And despite the challenges facing us, and indeed, because of the challenges facing us, we must work together. All of our staff, including administrators and teachers, guidance counselors, and support staff, inclusive of the bus and ferry drivers, lunch vendors, security guards, janitresses, office personnel, have been given training to ensure that they are operating responsibly in this new COVID-19 environment. And I repeat, my beloved, in all of our decisions, we will be guided and directed by the health authorities. And based on the current state of our economy and our country, and progressively with the rising COVID-19 cases, we believe that our 2021-2022 academic year will continue to fluctuate between face-to-face, hybrid, and online. And that fact brings me to the issue of parental influence on student achievement. There is a vital need for our parents to maintain an ongoing collaboration with their child's school and teacher, even more so when faced with the remoteness of online learning. So parents, I encourage you to remain active in your child's school community. The Ministry of Education will continue to do its part to promote a culture of learning, whether face-to-face or remotely. And I've already challenged our school administrators to create a culture within their academic environment, to promote school pride. It's a major tenet in the relationship that is nurtured between their schools, students, and parents. I would like for us to be assured that all schools have the adequate signage and have been outfitted with an adequate supply of sanitation and cleaning equipment to maintain a healthy and safe learning environment. Our focus will be on ensuring that more of our students leave school with the Bahamas High School diploma, an increasing number of students obtaining good results in our national examination results. Indeed, despite the pandemic, the Ministry of Education forged ahead with preparing our students to sit their national exams during both the 2020 and the 2021 sittings. These are our internationally recognized Bahamas General Certificate of Secondary Education, the BGCSE, and the Bahamas Junior Certificate, that is the BJC. And despite delays, we were able to complete those exams. And I can say here that our examination results were commendable, especially considering the circumstances. For this, I commend our educators, parents, and students for their outstanding efforts. My beloved Bahamians, we can do it. We have overcome challenges before, and we can overcome them again with God's help. The success of the exams prove that working together as partners allows us to achieve our ministry's vision of academic excellence. I thank you, and I wish all of us a successful, safe, and productive 2021-2022 academic year. God bless you, and God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The proceeding was a back-to-school message by the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey L. Lloyd.
Colon cancer is the third most common cancer affecting Bahamians. Your risk of developing colon cancer is increased if you have a personal history of colorectal cancer or colon polyps, a family history of colon cancer, or inflammatory bowel diseases such as ulcerative colitis. Other factors that can increase your risk of developing colon cancer are low-fiber, high-fat diets, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, smoking, and alcohol. You can take steps to reduce your risk of colon cancer